going to study about sex determination. By the 19th century, a lot had been known about the unit of inheritance, that is genes. Many people were studying on it. One of them were R. Morgan, Thomas Hunt Morgan. So once it was understood what are these chromosomes, many people started to study about them. By the early 19th century, people were studying on insect gonad cells. Insect gonad cells are insects reproductive cells. Okay, the cells from the ovary and testes are nothing but the gonad cells. Alright. So people were studying on insect gonad cells majorly because the insect chromosomes were large enough that it was easily visible under the chromosomes. Adonde they preferred insects over any other organism for their studies. During that time, one scientist, a German biologist, Hermann Henke, was studying with firebugs, or you can say bats. Okay, so when he was studying, he identified that in the sperm nuclei, some of the sperm nuclei had 11 chromosomes and some other sperm nuclei had 12 chromosomes. He was like, why is this? Some is having 11 chromosomes, some is having 12 chromosomes. He was not able to identify it. So he named the 12th chromosome as X. Unknown, an X element. So in mathematics, like if you don't know a number, you just put X and Y. The same way, he could not identify what that was. He named as X element. Okay. Later on, another scientist, these two scientists were working independently on the same thing that Hermann Henke had found out. Edmund Beecher Wilson was working with insects and he found out that there is an unequally sized chromosome in insect sperm nucleus. That is, he took a particular insect and he was studying the sperm nuclei. He identified that an unequally sized chromosome, a particular chromosome pair which is unequally sized, which segregate from each other in a 50-50 ratio. In which this chromosome pair segregate half of the whatever gamete is formed contains one chromosome and another pair methane chromosome another 50% അങ്ങനെ 50-50% ratio segregate ആവുന്ന unequally sized chromosome ഈ എഡ്മണ്ട് ബീച്ചർ വിൽസൺ കണ്ടു. അതിനുശേഷം 1905 it was around 1905 and after 1 month or so Nettie Stevens was working with beetles. Nettie Stevens found out that in the nucleus of beetle gonad cells, females had two unequal, Edmund Beecher പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ മെയിൽസിൽ ടു അൺഈക്വലി സൈസ്ഡ് ക്രോമോസോംസ്, ഒരു ചെറിയ ക്രോമോസോമും ഒരു വലിയ ക്രോമോസോമും. So because she was not able to identify much about it, she named the smaller chromosome as S and the larger chromosome as L, small and large. And in the females, she found that pair of large chromosome was there in males. This was in males, this is in females. So in males, one small chromosome and a large chromosome, whereas in females, two large chromosomes were found. She was very sure that this is a mechanism of sex determination. That is, in males there are type of chromosomes, females there are type of chromosomes. And sex determination or character and the Nettie Stevens wrote. Adisheshan Wilson came into this scene or studies at the stage. He was like, okay, this is something which determines sex. This particular chromosome has something to do with the sex determination in organisms. And following what Hermann Henke had named him, he named the small chromosome as Y and the large chromosome as X. So we have X and Y chromosomes in males, X and X chromosomes in females. Okay, these are the initial discoveries in sex chromosomes. And because these chromosomes had some role in sex determination, they were called as sex chromosomes. പിന്നെ ഓർഗാനിസത്തിലുള്ള ബാക്കി എല്ലാ ക്രോമോസോംസ് ഒരുപാട് ഡിസ്കഷൻ നടന്നു അതിന് എന്താ പേരിടേണ്ടത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് വിളിക്കേണ്ടതെന്നൊക്കെ. അവസാനം അതർ ക്രോമോസോംസ് സൊമാറ്റിക് സെൽസിലെ ക്രോമോസോമിനൊക്കെ ഓട്ടോസോംസും ഇതിനെ സെക്സ് ക്രോമോസോംസ് എന്നും വിളിക്കാൻ അവർ തീരുമാനിച്ചു. ഓൾറൈറ്റ്, നൗ further many people came forward to study about these sex chromosomes, about how sex determination is taking place, and in many different organisms they found different such mechanisms how sex determination is taking place. For example, if you take human beings, in human beings, they found out that females have two X chromosomes and males have X and Y chromosomes. So all the females produce gametes containing X chromosome. That is, all the gametes produced by the females will contain only one type of chromosome, that is X chromosome. Whereas the gametes produced by the males, 50% of them will contain X chromosome, another 50% will be containing Y chromosome. Alright. Now, when the gamete containing X chromosome from the female fuses with the gamete containing X chromosome from the males, the resultant is a female. Same way, when the gamete containing X chromosome from the females fuses with the gamete containing Y chromosome from the males, the resultant is a male. Alright. If you look carefully here, you can see that females produce only one type of gamete, that is a gamete containing X chromosome. Whereas males are producing two types of gametes, that is X and Y chromosome carrying gametes, two types of gametes. Alright. This system, this sex determination system XY system. XY system. Alright. Now you may think that this is the only system which is present. Now every organism you take, they will be having XX chromosome in females and XY chromosomes in males. No. In different organisms, different scientists found out that different mechanisms of sex determination exist. This is one example of it. I'll give you another example. Take grasshoppers. Grasshoppers. In grasshopper females, they found that female sex chromosomes are two X chromosome, whereas in males they have one X chromosome only. That is, the females have 24 chromosomes, whereas males have 23 chromosomes. In males, one X chromosome. A pair other counterpart, there is no chromosomes, there is no sex chromosome. In males, they have only 23 pairs of 23 chromosomes. Okay, and females are having 24 chromosomes because they have two X chromosomes. Now here, in this case, females produce a gamete containing only X chromosome. Only one type of gamete is produced by females in this case. Whereas here, males produce two types of gametes. 50% of them contain X chromosome, another 50% do not contain any chromosome. Do not contain any, nullness represent zero. One chromosome is 0 or O. Alright, it is not O, is not another chromosome. O, no chromosome. When the gamete containing X chromosome from the female fuses with the gamete containing X chromosome from the males, the resultant is a female. When the gamete containing X chromosome from the females fuses with the gamete containing no chromosome, the resultant is a male. But this kind of sex determination system is called as XO type of sex determination. Alright. Now I want you to focus in both these cases. XX, XY, XX, XO. These two cases, that is in the case of human beings as well as in the case of grasshoppers, males are producing two types of gametes, whereas females are producing only one type of gametes. And then males two types of gametes producing. In the first case, X containing gametes, Y containing gametes. In here, X containing gametes and gametes containing no chromosomes at all. But two types of gametes are produced. So it is these chromosomes produced, it is these gametes produced by the males which determine the sex in these organisms. Females in the one type of chromosomes sex determination, sex determine chromosome it is coming from the male. Okay, males are determining the sex in these organisms. And not only that, since here males are producing two type of gamete, we put these two types of sex determination system under one category, that is male heterogamety. This male heterogamety, male which are males, hetero means different, gamete means gametes. So males producing different gametes determines the sex in these conditions. Other under two system XX XY system, XX XO system. If males two type of gametes producing X containing gametes and Y containing gametes. Here the males produce X containing gametes and gametes which contain no chromosomes, and hence determine the sexes in the organisms. Alright, this is male heterogamety. Now again you might be thinking, okay, all organisms males are heterogametic. It is only the males which produce different types of gametes. No, there are organisms wherein females also produce different kind of gametes. That is, mismatched pair of chromosomes are also seen in females. Shall we look at some of those examples? Okay, here for convenience I am changing the alphabets to represent the sex chromosomes. I will be using Z and W to represent the sex chromosomes. Okay, now in some birds and some fowls, it was seen that the females contain two mismatched pair of chromosomes. And the anatomical chromosomes, sex chromosomes are different from each other, and they named it as Z and W, whereas males contain two similar kind of chromosomes, Z and Z. Okay, so here females will produce two type of gametes, that is gametes containing half of the gametes containing Z chromosome, another half containing W chromosomes, whereas males, this is male, this is female. Okay, and males are producing only one type of gamete, that is Z chromosomes. When the gamete containing Z chromosome from the female fuses with the gamete containing Z chromosome from the males, the resultant is a male. Alright, here also when the gamete containing W chromosome fuses with the gamete containing Z chromosome from the males, the resultant is a female. Okay, this is ZZZW type of system and it falls under female heterogamety. Female heterogamety. Why female heterogamety? Because females are the one which produce two different types of gametes here, and hence are the sex determining element in such organisms. Alright. Now other examples are also there. In some butterflies and some moths, it was found that males contain two Z chromosomes and females contain a Z and no chromosomes, only one Z chromosome. So it was null. They will produce, males will produce only one type of gamete. Here females will produce gamete, half of the gametes containing Z chromosomes and another half containing no chromosomes. When they fuse, it results in male. When they fuse, this results in female. In both these cases, this was in birds and fowls, this was in butterflies and moth. In both these cases, we have found that females produce two different types of gametes, and hence they fall under the category female heterogamety. Okay, two types of sex determination methods. The male heterogamety, two systems are there: XX XY system and XX XO system. The first case example is human beings and other placental mammals, or you can also take Drosophila melanogaster for XX XY system of sex determination. Another system is XXXO, mostly insects, for example grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are studied in females, they have 24 chromosomes, males have 23 chromosomes. Females contain 2 X chromosomes, males contain only 1 X chromosomes, and other part is no chromosome. So males in both these cases, XXXY and XXX0 system, the males produce two types of gametes and hence provide the determining element for sex determination. That's why they fall under male heterogamety. But there are cases where females also produce two different types of gametes. Adinte example is female heterogamety, under which two systems are there, ZZ-ZW system and ZZ-Z0 system. ZZ-ZW system is found in birds and fowls, wherein females produce two different types of gametes and hence are determining the sex of those organisms. And under this ZZ-ZO system, which is found in some moths and some butterflies, and hence they help in determining the sex in those organisms. Ingane sex determination. Different organisms, different methods of sex determination is there. This is few of the examples which is most commonly seen. There is other method also. For example, as is seen in the honeybees. Honeybees, I have told you even before this in the earlier chapters, in reproduction chapters, how is sex determined in honeybees. There, parthenogenesis comes into the play. Let's see how that happens. In case of honeybees, sex is determined based on the number of sets of chromosome that these honeybees contain. In normal females, the number of chromosomes found in females of honeybees is 32 chromosomes, whereas in case of males it is only 16 chromosomes. Females contain 32 chromosomes, males contain 16 chromosomes. What is actually happening over there? When a female egg is fertilized by the sperm from the males, it results in the formation of a female. Whereas when the egg without fertilization develops into a honeybee, that is by parthenogenesis it develops further, it results in the formation of a male. That is, when an egg is fused with a sperm, this containing 16 chromosome, this containing 16 chromosome. Resultant, when they fuse together, it results in the formation of 32 chromosomes. Alright, now this is a female. Whereas, when the egg develops further through parthenogenesis, that is formation of the offsprings without fertilization. This egg develops further, then the resultant contains only 16 chromosomes. And this is a male. So here can you see the difference in the chromosome sets? 32 chromosomes are it is a female, 16 chromosomes are it is a male. Here the male and female gametes have fused together, hence fusing their chromosomes, resulting in the formation of a honeybee containing 32 chromosomes. And now that honeybee will be a female. If suppose the egg through parthenogenesis develops further, it gives rise to a male containing only 16 chromosomes. Okay, this kind of sex determination system is called as haplodiploid system of sex determination. Haplodiploid. Females containing diploid set of chromosomes, males containing haploid set of chromosomes, half the number of chromosomes. That's this system. Honeybees haplodiploid sex determination system. Females are produced by normal fertilization of male and female gametes, whereas males are formed by parthenogenesis of the egg. Because of which their number of sets of chromosomes present in the offspring is also different. Alright, these males, they do not have fathers. Females have father, whereas males do not have father. They can have grandfather. Grandfather either. They are formed from a female egg. Female produce a male sperm one. That way you can say that this male will be having grandfather and grandson, but no father and son. This is the sex determination system in this chapter. Male heterogamety, female heterogamety, haplodiploid system of sex determination. Apart if you are going deeply into the human sex determination, humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes. In that, 22 pairs are autosomes and 1 pair is a sex chromosome. Okay, in females, the sex chromosomes are the same type, that is homozygous XX. 2 X chromosomes are there, whereas in males, 2 different types of chromosomes are there, which is unequal. That's why X chromosome korchu veludana, Y chromosome korchu cherdana. That is why it is called as unequally sized chromosomes are there in males. And females produce same kind of gametes all containing X chromosomes, whereas males produce two type of gametes, half of them containing X chromosome, half containing Y chromosome, because of which it belongs to the male heterogamety. Adana males to sambhavikkunnu. So anywhere we can see in humans, especially lot of times in our society, females are blamed for giving rise to a girl child or a boy child. Females are held responsible for everything, whereas now you can understand that it is not the females. Females do not have any role in it. They produce only one type of gamete containing X chromosome, whereas it is the males who are supposed to determine the sex of the child. So because they produce two type of gametes. Alright, if in anyone in your family or everyone around you is having such kind of confusion that females are supposed to produce the females and boy child or girl child, please tell them that is wrong, and also show them the science behind it. Alright, this is sex determination. Meet you in the next session.